Hey everybody, welcome back to Keeping It RE. This is episode 3 of our podcast. We are here with Tyler Amato with Seamless AI. Tyler, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to get things rolling.
Awesome, us too.
Yeah, we're super excited too. And the background of this, in the topic that we want to talk about, social media and selling, using LinkedIn as a platform to expand your network and your client base. I mean, that's how we ended up on this podcast together. I mean, let me ask you a question, Tyler. Have you and I ever met in person?
Never. I think this is our second video conference ever, actually.
I know. Isn't that so cool? I mean, and where are you physically sitting right now?
Well, I'm standing in my home office here in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah. So, that alone just shows how incredibly powerful social media platforms can be. You're standing in Florida, which is much better than where we are in the DC region with the cold weather that we got going on.
And getting snow tomorrow.
We're sitting in Washington, DC. We've never met face to face, but we share a lot of common interests with how we conduct our business and, the amount of activity and resources that we're trying to provide to our followers and our connections. And here we are doing a podcast together from 2 different states, and we've never even met face to face. And I feel like we're friends.
Dude, I feel like, we're pretty good friends at this point, I've commented on at least 10 of your posts. You commented on 10 of mine. Like, it's real.
Yeah. My wife is like, who's Tyler? Like, don't worry about Tyler.
His name all over your notifications.
Totally. So why don't we just kick things off, and why don't you give us some background, give us your story, how you ended up where you are, what you're doing now, and we can kind of tailor the conversation that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have pretty much been in sales my entire career, even dating back to college. And originally when I got out of college, I was in pharmaceutical sales. And it's something that I always thought that I wanted, always thought that I would be super passionate about. So, I went for it. And it ended up not really being something that I was really into. I never woke up and was like, wow, I can't wait to go to work today. And I just listened to a lot of content from Gary Vee and Brandon, my CEO. Oh, shit. Yeah, so I started watching a lot of content from Gary Vee and people like Tony Robbins, kind of like the mainstream ones. And then I started digging a little bit deeper, and I found Brandon and just a lot of different people that were preaching social media, not necessarily LinkedIn, but Gary Vee's big thing is just keep creating content. Like, even if you don't get likes, keep creating content. And I've always wanted to, go for it on social media and, not start a business, but try to generate revenue through social media. And so I did a bunch of research. I read a few books, and I actually switched career paths from pharmaceuticals to technology sales. And I was at Gartner, and I loved it when I was there. Gartner is a big IT research and advisory firm. And they had world-renowned training. I was in the global headquarters here in Fort Myers. It was awesome. And about 2 months in, I got suddenly fired. And I, didn't expect it. And I was a little shaken. But I just always remember, dating back to all the content I've watched, all the different, people I've interacted with. And Brandon was actually my very first prospect when I was at Gartner. And he was the first person I ever booked a meeting with, the first person I ever pitched Gartner to. It was a horrible pitch, and he did not believe it. But he liked my approach, and he liked how I got him on the phone, and he liked how I prospected him. So we kept the relationship through LinkedIn. And then when I got fired, I called him, and I was like, Brandon, I just got fired. And he's like, really? That's super surprising. I thought you were really good when I talked to you. And I was like, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I thought I was pretty good too. I was wondering if you're hiring right now. We are. And at that point, Seamless had, I think, one salesperson besides Brandon and the founding team. And so he gave me a task. He was like, go set up a couple meetings for our team, and we'll see where we can go from there. Within I think it was 6 hours, I had 7 meetings set. Just for people
awesome.
That I was working with at Gartner. And the next day they hired me, and then I came on, and it was just brand new startup. We had like 6 people, 7 people. I think we had like 5K MRR. And then in the last year, since I came in, we've really focused a lot on being strategic on social media and just doing a lot of organic marketing through social media. I mean, that among other things have, played in our favor. And, we went from 0 to, I think we're at like 1.7 million in annual revenue right now in just about a year.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
So great. And just being able to get Brandon on the phone and have him impressed is a feat in itself. I mean, talk about somebody that was born to sell and knows how to sell, knows how to get people's attention. I can't imagine the amount of people that call him and try to sell him something, and he just either laughs or hangs up or just kind of gives them the runaround, because it's probably fun because he's so good at it. And you caught his attention, and here you are today. That's an exciting story, man. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was funny because, I mean, he tried to get off the phone. Like, he didn't even know that I had booked a meeting to pitch him. It was like, I booked a meeting through the chatbot on Seamless AI. He didn't even know.
On the website.
And I showed up and I just started and I was like, no, I'm pitching you, man. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I gotta go. I was like, and then I went straight into just talking about the platform and talking about how I liked it because I tried it, and like talked about like, things that I thought it, helped automate in terms of workflow and stuff. And we actually ended up getting into like a really good conversation, and, it didn't end in a sale, like I said, but it ended in a relationship, which for me obviously paid off in the long run because here I am.
You sold yourself.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a great year. We're at a team of about 11 to 12 salespeople now. And I just remember, you were one of the first people to start following us like consistently. And you hopped on a demo with me once, and you told me, and you're like, listen, I love what you guys are doing on LinkedIn. Like, no one does that in the real estate world. Like, I want to be the first person to be like super into social media marketing and like podcasting and like all this stuff for the commercial real estate industry. And dude, you're doing it. It's just awesome to see your initiative and seeing you go after it like that. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just fun. It's been a fun ride.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. And, we have a similar background in the, the Gary V's and the Grant Cardones and the Tony Robbins. I mean, I follow Gary V religiously. I listen to his podcast every morning, on my way to work. It just gets me pumped up. I'm using words like macro and binary all the time because of him. And my wife is like, quit saying binary. But it's true. And, the reason why we started this thing was our business, the way that the majority of the agents in the region pick up clients and pick up businesses through cold calling. And that's how, I got my seat at the table, making 50, 75, 100 cold calls a day for 5+ years, scheduling meetings with CEOs and so on and so forth, getting hired. And that's how I built my book of business. And nowadays, because we're in a very oversaturated market, so many people are making cold calls. So many people are sending LinkedIn messages and emails, and everybody's getting bogged down. And frankly, the phones are much slower than they used to be. And I took a step back and I said to myself, okay, if I need to go see a doctor, I don't have a doctor cold calling me and saying, hey, how's your knee feel? How about your shoulder? Anything going on with your foot? Like, I seek that doctor. Same thing with an insurance agent, or if I want to buy health insurance, like I'm seeking these people out myself. So why can't the same be true for commercial real estate brokers? So how do we do that? How do we reverse engineer this entire process? And if somebody has a need, they might pick up the phone and call us. So reverse engineering the entire thing, our thought was, if we can provide content, value, and an incredible amount of market information on a daily basis to this entire market, then maybe somebody will pick up the phone and call us. Hey, I've seen your video. I feel like I know you. I follow your content. And the crazy thing is, it's working.
I know. It's funny how like simple the methodology is and how effective the results are.
It's unbelievable. I got a call from a now client who we become friends, saw one of our videos. He called me from a boat on the Galapagos Islands and said, hey, I saw one of your videos. I'm interested in XYZ. And we got together the next week on Monday when he got back from his awesome vacation with his family. We hit it off. and we did a real estate transaction together. He opened a new HQ in the DC region, and our team represented him. I mean, like you said, it's the idea of it is so simple, but it's not easy to put yourself out there, especially in a world where the eyes are on you and everybody thinks you're crazy for doing it. But
yeah, well, and the whole caveat to this whole thing is that even though we're creating all this content, we're trying to make it as informative as possible, but also not be boring, because so many videos are already out there, like 20-30-minute videos about how great the DC region is or how great people are doing in the market. Like, we don't want it to be like that. We have really tried to strive to make things interesting and fun and just give people a good laugh. So I think that's why we've had like a good amount of success from what we've been doing, and it's just been fun in the process. So
that's such a good point. It's, we don't want to put stuff out there that the net absorption and the vacancy rates in the DC region have risen or fallen, or, like, that's not going to resonate with the majority of the people that we're trying to contact.
Right.
What might resonate is, hey, this awesome bar is opening up down the street from this building, or guess what? Wawa's coming to our region. Like, we did a video on that and everybody was pumped that Wawa was coming to Vienna, Virginia. You know, who doesn't love Wawa? I mean, that resonates with people, So, I think Paige's point is spot on. Like, we want to make it fun, but also professional. We want to provide actual value to the people that are following along. And at the end of the day, if these people that we're connecting with and providing value to have a relationship and they already have a real estate broker, that's totally fine. But if they're following our content and we're adding value to them and their business in any way, then in our opinion, we've already won.
Yeah.
No, totally. I agree. And
shout out Gary V.
Shout out Brandon B.
Exactly.
But going back to what you're saying, like, I also don't think that like anyone you can't just start making videos and expect it to be, effective. Like, you guys did it right. You came in with a plan, you came in with a strategy, you engaged with the people that are engaging on your posts and all your activity. And that's, another Gary Vee thing where he talks about just always engage with the people that are, supporting you on social media and supporting you on, the different platforms, because they're the people that are going to help you build your brand. They're the basis. And you guys do a really good job of that. You make sure that you comment back to everybody that comments to you. I'm sure you're, endorsing people on the side whenever, they're commenting on your stuff a lot or whatever. It's funny because growing up, there was always that like for like, comment for comment thing on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And all the people that did that, their names were always the first to pop up on every search, or every time you saw like a bunch of likes, it was always that one person that always liked everything. And we never realized subconsciously that it is an algorithm, and it's the people that are more active are going to benefit from that, and everyone's going to be able to see that. And I mean, back to old school business, advertising is all about range and reach. The more people that you have access to, in terms of like your content reaching, the higher the market cap could be. And when you put it into a macro perspective like that, and you look at it like as a business, it almost becomes like fun.
Well, and we try to be realistic about it too. Like, quite honestly, we knew that like posting a video, like we weren't expecting it to go viral or anything, but like you said, engaging with people that comment and people that like our posts constantly, like that goes a long way. It helps definitely make those kinds of relationships.
And every once in a while, like, we're not going viral with these things, but we do get recognized, and it's actually really cool and really fun. And every once in a while we'll be walking through the mall, going to lunch or something. Our building is connected right to the Tyson's Mall in Northern Virginia. And every once in a while somebody will yell, "Keeping it RE." And like, we'll have no idea who this person is. Totally. And then we'll go up and we'll introduce ourselves, and they'll be like, "We already know you. We see your videos." And like, that's probably happened 10 times at the mall. And I'm not exaggerating, like, "Keeping it RE." I mean, that's awesome. I mean, talk about attention. I mean, like you said, reach and attention. That's it right there.
And especially to Paul, he gets the most shout outs because they're like, "Oh, you're the guy with like 6 inches of hair on the top of his head, like the comb over." So he definitely gets recognized the most.
I let my daughter style my hair every morning.
There you go. Yeah, you make it look like Bieber.
What's that?
Make you look like Justin Bieber.
That's the goal, man. Every day when I wake up. How can I be like the Beebs? So let me ask you, you've been doing this a long time too, and Brandon has too, as far as the social media selling on LinkedIn. What have you learned from this process? Do's, don'ts, anything that you can share? I mean, I know you share a lot of your secrets through your actual posts, but is there anything that stands out that you think is important to kind of bring to light?
That's a good question, Paul, and I appreciate you asking it. I mean, social media marketing, at least at an organic, rate, when you're not paying, ad dollars to do it, I think it's all about, and Brandon taught me this, it's all about consistency. So it doesn't really matter what you're posting about per se, like try to obviously make it targeted towards, your audience. So you definitely want to choose your audience who you're trying to talk to. So you're not going to be able to resonate with everybody. So choose your audience and then make sure that you're not being too overly like salesy towards them. You're not talking about your product all the time, and you're just bringing in valuable information to the table that is going to keep people coming back for more. And it's also all about helping people too, because every time, I post a tip out there, I have 5 or 6 people that message me saying, wow, that helps so much. Like I'm saving so much time now, even if they're not using Seamless or not. So it's just really cool to see the impact of like just a 5-minute video could have on the community. But going back to the strategy perspective, you got to choose your audience. You got to, create a consistent cadence on how many times you're going to post a day, when you're going to post. And then you also want to have, a ton of content created so you have stuff to filter into that. And then I think you just got to have that message that's in the back of your mind that, this is why you're doing it. Like, I want to bring more attention to the commercial real estate industry, or I want to impact 1 billion people. Everyone that does well on doing this is all people that have a good, like cornerstone backing them. They have a reason for doing it. And I think that is extremely powerful.
I agree. Paige?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any lessons learned from your end?
I'm still learning. Just, trying to get a grasp on everything out there. And, just like you said, it's reaching a target market. It's trying to touch as many people as you can and being active with everything. So I think as long as, when you're doing things like social media, you're going on LinkedIn, you're going on Instagram, you really just want to reach as far as you can with what you know, and hopefully that'll touch other people that you weren't expecting to touch as well. So it's just all about
kind of fun to, touching people you've never touched before, but on social media.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. And to add to that, just to kind of bring it full circle, I agree with you, with both of you and what you said. I would add that being genuine and being yourself is extremely important, because it's very easy to find the frauds out there that do this. And if you're genuine and you're being true to yourself and you're doing what you love for the right reasons, then nobody else has leverage on you to call you out as, somebody that's not doing it for, the right way. Like, we're doing this to add value to our market, whether it brings us business or not. We were convinced that it eventually would bring us business, and it has. We've proven that it has. But the main reason is to add value, build the brand, and deliver a high level of information to the entire market that previously you would only read in, the Washington Business Journal, or, this information wasn't getting out to the market the way that we thought it could. And we're basically repackaging what you would find in a newspaper and an article on BizNow with video, and bringing it to a high level of followers that we have, and we're doing the best that we can to be genuine and true to ourselves throughout the entire process. And I think that really resonates with people when we're doing that, when we're being ourselves.
That's great. No, you guys have a great foundation to what you're doing. You know why you're doing it. And I've been following you since the beginning, and it's getting better every time. So just keep.
You're an OG. You're an OG, man.
Yeah, OGs stick together.
Yeah, OG Keeping It RE follower. I feel the same way with you guys, and you guys pump me up, and I always get a kick out of you and Brandon going back and forth at 4 a.m. and I'm actually up at that time a lot because I have a 7-month-old at home, so I'm not up and like pumped as much as you two are, but it's always fun to watch the interaction between you guys at 4 a.m. when I'm taking care of a little kid.
Yeah.
Going back to the power of social media, like we're not even like in the same state as each other like most of the time either. So it just goes to show you the power of like video conference and the power of social media in general, because me and Brandon can make a video together and be 10 states away and then post on social media, and it inspires people. It's awesome. And I think it has to be noted how a lot of attention is shifting from the other social media platforms, and it's resonating on LinkedIn. And if you think about the value of a conversation with just a base level consumer on an Instagram is like what, like $15 for, a product, or possibly, or the value of the conversation is low. But if you're talking to someone on LinkedIn that's a CEO that has buying power, that has the ability to, purchase whatever your business is selling, like the value of that conversation is way higher than the other one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you nailed it.
A strategy where we've solely just focused on LinkedIn. And I was actually, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was talking to Brandon at like 5 a.m, and we were talking about social media strategies, but it was back in like June, before we even really started going hard on LinkedIn. And he was like, what do we have to do to maximize, our revenue? What can we do? I'm like, we have to focus on social media. And he's like, yes, I agree. And I was like, we got to make a Facebook account. We got to make an Instagram. We got to make a Pinterest. We got to make a Snapchat. We got to make all of them. Because I'm thinking like, oh, all the other influencers, they have all of them. And Brandon was like, no, we're going to focus solely on LinkedIn. That is the uppercomer. That's where all of our audience lives. He chose his audience. And that's where we can have the most impact. And that's what we've done. And the ROI has been tremendous from it. So I think strategically choosing which platform you focus on and how you communicate, whether that's video or audio or, writing an article, choosing that as well. Like that comes in a lot into play as well.
That's great. And, as we wrap up the podcast here, tell us about the product. Tell us what Seamless does and how you are going to change the world and touch 1 billion people, which I know is part of that mission statement.
Yeah, no, excuse me one sec. Yeah, the podcast has the throat a little dry. But so Seamless, it's a SaaS platform. Seamless.ai is the website. So you go there, you can sign up for free. And essentially what we do is we automate prospecting and list building. Specifically, like if you're on LinkedIn or LinkedIn Navigator and you have a big list of people that you have all their LinkedIns and they're perfect targets for you to prospect, perfect targets for you to go after and try to sell to. And that it would be a mutual and beneficial, arrangement with all these people, and you can never figure out how to get in touch with them because no one responds to their emails, or no one looks at their LinkedIn to, connect with you or whatever. So Seamless bridges that gap. It allows you to take all of those people and then research all their emails, all their phone numbers, all their insights, and then have the ability to do that at like a mass scale, thousands and thousands a day, and then just download it into a CSV or export it to any CRM, export it to any marketing automation platform. So you don't have to waste a lot of time doing all this manual research, all this manual data entry, and you can spend all your time selling.
That's amazing.
That's great.
Tell us about one case study that blows your mind of a customer that uses Seamless. What this particular customer was doing yesterday, that today the game is totally changed because of Seamless.
Yeah. So I would mention he was actually a fraternity brother of mine. He's my great grandbaby, so he's older than me. But he's like I think he's the sales director or VP of sales over at Live Earth, which is this GPS SaaS platform that allows like police forces and fire departments and military departments to be able to effectively track and monitor their equipment and their employees and everything. And every time he got into a place to sell it, it would sell like crazy. Everybody wanted it. Everybody loved it. But he was having trouble getting a hold of the right people. So then I showed him how to use Seamless so that he could target every single, I think the first thing we did was chief of police in the United States. And within 3 seconds, I had a list of 20,000 chief of polices. And he was like, oh my gosh, this is all I need.
with their contact information.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a perfect solution. It's not going to bring back contact information on everyone. But I would say about 80 to 90% of the time, you're getting accurate contact information. And I mean, the business has tripled in revenue since it's been 6 months. And I mean, he's, got 10 people underneath him now. So it's just really cool to see that happen. And, know that I had something to do with that success, helping him, find the product. Actually, he reached out to me about the product, but, helping him set it up and helping him, learn the strategy behind it. It's just a really cool process. And I've gotten people, messaging me on LinkedIn, calling me and texting me every day of how much success they've had with Seamless. And it's been a really fun ride. We have a really great team. Shout out sales team, shout out SDRs and AEs and marketing team. It's just really cool to see it all come together, and this vision that we've all had, it's becoming a reality. And it's just really great leadership from Brandon, from Mike Hopkins, the VP of sales, and everybody over there. And, we're thrilled to be a part of your network and part of your community. And we're just excited to see what the future brings.
Well, we sincerely appreciate your time. We're pumped for the success of you personally, but also your company, brand, and the whole squad. And, I'll leave you with just one piece. My mind is always spinning on social media and how you can connect with the community. How cool would it be if you could get that VP of sales to do a quick video and talk about the change in his business because of the Seamless platform? I think people would really resonate with that.
Yeah.
If you got a couple of these success stories and got them in the mix, similar to what we're doing right now. And it could be 30 seconds, but something like that's going to touch a lot of people. And I see you smiling. I think you guys are already in the works.
Probably had that idea.
Yeah. But if we start seeing it, we're going to claim it as our idea, even though I can see by your smile, it's already in the works and happening. But just a thought with how you can continue to expand on the social media platforms and continue to provide value to a lot of people worldwide.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great advice. And appreciate that, guys. We have hours of testimonials. It's amazing how many people we're helping. And it keeps us going, you know what I mean? So we wake up every day and we're excited to work. We're pumped to help people. And, the execution's there, which is key too. So
that's amazing.
Totally.
That's
and
amazing.
for all the kind words, guys. You guys are awesome all the time, not just right now. And I appreciate everything you guys do.
Hey, well, thanks for keeping it RE. Thanks for following the hashtag. We appreciate the love all the way from Florida. And let's keep this rolling from time to time when new strategies and things change. Let's get back on a Zoom and fire this thing up again, man. This was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Brandon on next time.
Oh, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I need his energy. We should do it at 4 a.m.
Oh my God. I won't be there for that one.
Yeah, he'll be down.
Oh my gosh.
No doubt.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you again, Tyler. We really appreciate it. And like Paul said, we'd love to catch back up with you in a little bit. And absolutely, we'll be going back and forth with you on LinkedIn. Wish you all the best.
Seamless AI.
Yeah,
everybody
Seamless
check it
AI.
out. Thanks for keeping it RE. Everybody have a fantastic day. We really appreciate everybody that's listening, everybody that's following along with the podcast. We got 82 listens on our first podcast episode. And I know not all of them were my mom. I'm sure some of them were, but 82 blows my mind. So hopefully we break the 100 mark with you, Tyler. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all the listeners out there. Thank you so much. Seamless AI, check it out.